Welcome to Banned Books Week at the Field Library. If you're unfamiliar with Banned Books Week, this is a week that celebrates the freedom to read and highlights both past and present attempts to censor books. Make sure to stay tuned throughout the week to learn more about banned books and some of our favorites. I'm guessing that some of the reasons these books were banned might surprise you. I'm going to kick things off with a book that was banned and challenged numerous times throughout the years. This book was banned because it has a female protagonist, or lead character, and for sending mixed signals to children about good and evil. Can you guess which book this is? If you guessed A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle, you'd be correct. This story centers around Meg, her brother Charles, and their friend Calvin. This epic journey begins when a stranger appears and Meg's father goes missing after working on a secret government project. The trio travels through space and time, encountering beings from different planets. As they travel through the universe, they experience both wonderful and terrifying things. They end up discovering that Meg's father has been captured by an evil being, a giant brain. And this brain hates emotion and controls everything on the planet. Everything looks the same, and everybody on the planet has to follow a very rigid routine. As Meg, Charles, and Calvin try to rescue her father, they encounter mind control and more. They must learn to face their fears and overcome them if they want to save the planet. A Wrinkle in Time has it all: friendship, family, time and space travel, a giant brain, the battle versus good and evil, the conflict between emotion and intellect, and more. Ultimately, this book shows that everyone is unique, and being different should be celebrated. Being different is good. A Wrinkle in Time has won the John Newbery Medal and has been adapted into a graphic novel and a movie. If you'd like to check out the chapter book, the graphic novel, or the movie adaptation, they are all available at the Field Library, so make sure to stop by.
Hi, my name is Nora Mulligan. I'm the head of adult services at the Field Library in Peekskill. I'm here to talk about one of the banned and challenged books that we're talking about for Banned Books Week. Book is called Fun Home. It's a graphic novel by Alison Bechdel. It's a book that has been banned or challenged, officially at least, because of, quote, violence and graphic images, unquote. It's a graphic memoir by Alison Bechdel about her family, which was, to say the least, unusual. Her father, an English teacher and part-time funeral director, was a person who ran a funeral home in the family house and was deeply in the closet about his own homosexuality, at the same time that Alison was growing up to discover her own homosexuality. It's a great book, like all of Alison Bechdel's books. It's about sexuality, and of course that's one thing that brings on the book challenges, anything that has to do with depicting human sexuality. It's also about identity, how we reflect each other and rebel against each other in our families. It's an honest effort on the part of the author to see her father clearly and to see how he shaped her life and her mother's life. Claiming this is a violent book is ridiculous. Compare this to any Marvel or DC superhero book, and you'd be hard-pressed to see how anybody could call this violent. The irony of challenging a graphic novel because it has graphic images is kind of absurd. But I think that's a shorthand and a hidden code way of saying that Bechdel draws people engaged in sex. Nothing pornographic, but she's not hiding bodies behind towels or sheets either. These are human beings, they're having sex, and she draws them. I should add that this book was turned into a Broadway musical, and that Broadway musical won several Tony Awards. And it was an excellent musical, too. Violent? Graphic? No. A beautiful and deeply felt graphic novel about family and identity and sexuality. Probably not appropriate for young children, or maybe preteens, but still a great book.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I am a library assistant in the children's room at the Field Library. The book I have chosen to highlight for Banned Books Week is Drama by Raina Telgemeier. This book is a graphic novel, and it follows the story of Callie, a 7th grader who is navigating being a part of the crew in the drama club production. She's also dealing with ups and downs in new and old friendships and young love and possibly heartbreak. This book was banned because its depiction of LGBT characters, there's specifically some gay characters, and parents, teachers didn't think that this was suitable for the younger audience that this book is for. I, on the other hand, think this is a very important book because, it's so essential that kids read about different experiences and something that they may be going through themselves, or else, they could inherently think that what they're going through is wrong, especially if, you're gay and you hear that this book with gay characters is banned. That's so silly. So, to push against that, please come check out some banned books at the Field Library and check out this book or possibly some others that were banned for LGBT characters and themes.
Hello, I'm Dave from the Field Library and welcome to Banned Books Week. Today I will be discussing To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It is an important classic that was censored and banned in many libraries across the United States and the world for tones of racism, rape, use of vulgarity and profane language. But I like the book because it teaches great things, such as the ability to have someone stand up for what they believe in, what's just. The main character, Atticus Finch, stands up for Tom Robinson, an African American, in court over accusations that he raped a white woman. Now, Atticus knows what he's doing is against the grain, and Scout sees this, and Scout is his 6-year-old daughter, and she looks up to her father, and she sees her father as a role model. And in the end, it's Boo Radley, the character that is frequently unheard from and never seen. He stands up for Scout, who is attacked, and he defends her and protects her. So this book has a lot of great things in it, and it's a shame that so many people overlook these things. And will you please celebrate Banned Books Week by reading a banned book? I hope you choose this one. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Nora Mulligan. I'm the head of Adult Services at the Field Library in Peekskill, and I'm here to talk about another banned or challenged book. This is a series. It's called Saga. It's by Brian Vaughan. It has been challenged for being, quote, anti-family, for having, quote, nudity, offensive language, being sexually explicit, and unsuited for the age group. It happens to be a gripping science fiction story with vivid characters, aliens who are truly alien, different worlds, and a love story. A family story, as a matter of fact, at the very heart of the series. Marcos and Alana should be enemies. The people of their respective planets are at war with each other, and they meet when Alana is guarding Marcos as a prisoner of war. They're very different. Marcos's people have horns on their heads, and Alana's people have wings. But they fall in love, and they have a daughter, Hazel, who is telling the story over the course of, so far, 8 volumes. Along the way, the family runs away from the forces of the galaxy that want to destroy them, and they find their biological families, and they also find a found family of other characters very different from them, and yet joining with them in trying to protect Hazel and Marcos and Alana from the warring parts of the galaxy. I can understand why people would say there's nudity. There is. There's sexual content. Yes, there is. This is not a series for preteens or for young teens. This is a series for people who are adults. As adults, it's terrific. The only thing I can't understand is how they could possibly say that this series is anti-family. I can't understand it. The whole heart of the story is about the survival of a loving family against all odds. This might be a case where calling something anti-family is really code for something else, where the real objection is that this is a mixed-race family that's presented in a positive light. Mixed race, not quite mixed species, but very, very different. There is no reason to ban this series. As a matter of fact, I heartily recommend it to anybody who enjoys good science fiction, good characters, and moving storylines. Thank you.
I'm Jennifer. I'm the director of the Field Library, and in celebration of Banned Books Week, I'd like to talk to you about one of my favorite banned books, Speak, by Lori Hall Sanderson. Before I begin, I'd like to warn you that this book deals with the topic of sexual assault in high school. It's the summer before the first year of high school, and Melinda has a secret. After calling the police at the end of summer party, none of her friends will talk to her. Melinda has retreated into her head. She goes through the motions attending school, friendless, never talking to anyone, wandering the halls, hoping that this time her books won't be knocked out of her hands again. Her only solace is her art class, where she has been given an assignment for the semester. One word: tree. Throughout the school year, Melinda has come to terms with what happened at that party. And that word, tree, her solace in her art class, is prophetic in what happened, because trees is what she was looking at that night, the night of the party, the night that she called 911, the night that she finally admits to herself that she was raped. She hadn't told anyone about her assault, not her friends, not her family, no one. In fact, she barely speaks a word until the end of the year, as she goes through her art class, working on her tree projects and remembering the branches of the trees on the night that it happened. Slowly she comes out of her shell. Slowly she starts to hear the voice in her head. It's the end of the year, and Melinda is cleaning out her secret hiding spot where she spent the entire year eating her lunch. And there, Andy, or as she has named him in her head, Beast, confronts her. As she tries to fight him off again, the sound starts to build in her head. No, she finally screams. This is an important book. It's about date rape, and it is about high school girls and the situations that they find themselves in. This book has been banned over 20 years since its original publication. Why? Because it deals with a sensitive topic. Girls ages 16 to 19 are 4 times more likely to be the victims of sexual assault, attempted assault, and rape than anyone in the general population. Despite this book continues to be banned in classrooms, school libraries, and public libraries. And there is no graphic content in this book. It is the subject matter. This book gives voice to the victims, and that is why this book is important and why it should be read throughout the United States. If you or someone you know is the victim of sexual assault or rape, please contact the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-4673.